Hi, everyone. Welcome. First, I want to mention that I now have live streaming 24 hours a day at a phone number. You can call the phone number and you will hear live streaming of the radio program, a new one every hour. A new program every hour. Or every half hour, actually. A new program every half hour. So it just keeps going. And all you have to do is call the number. To find out what the number is, just go to sheddingshackles.com and you'll see it on the homepage. Now, it's for people who are calling internationally, you have to have, free minutes. A lot of people have unlimited minutes for talking on their phone or listening. So you could call the number and it wouldn't cost you a penny. Internationally, you just have to check. But anyway, that's a really nice feature, I think. And what else do I have? Well, I have new books out. I have a new book on relationships, which is out in hardback or paperback on Amazon. And it should be out in Kindle very, very soon. And I want you to get it, okay? It's a good book and it's a fun read. Now, let's talk about the important thing right now, which is stress. There's a lot of stress in the world right now. You have to learn how to deal with it. You have to learn how to deal with it in your family, in the neighborhood, in the country, in the world. So let's go over just a couple of basics. The basic way of ruining a human being is to shock the person. To shock them, to get them to react. See, cruelty is the big thing. Worldwide, you see it in almost every family, I'm sorry to say. Cruelty to the child is shocking, upsetting, and makes the child angry. And technically speaking, any separation from your ground of being is not good. How were we meant to be? How was Adam before the fall? We were meant to have a consciousness that is an observer. Like I've said so many times, just like a tourist, watches and observes and notices things. You were that way when you were a little kid. You watched people. You didn't always understand what was going on. It wasn't important. You just watched. You have to learn to have that. Because as soon as you react. That's it. As soon as you react, then immediately there's a separation from your inner ground of good. See, the human soul exists in relationship to something. There has to be something to be in relationship with. There has to be. Ideally, it's God. God is the overshadowing spirit. He's your parent spirit. But when we fall away from Him, then we begin to exist in a relationship with something else. Now, we are born already fallen. That's what you inherit. You can't help that. You're born in a relationship with your parents. And usually it's not such a good relationship. Father is failing. Mother is angry, all of that stuff. But I want to keep it simple. I don't want to get too involved in anything. I want to keep it simple so you can see it very clearly. So you're already born that way. I understand that. And God has made provision for you to recover from what you were born into. You can't help that. But ideally we were meant to be in rapport with God. But then when you fall away, then you fall into a relationship. Your soul has a relationship with something else then, doesn't it? A parent, a partner, your friends, other people. But your soul also falls into a relationship with someone that it hates. Your soul has to have a relationship with something. Some people, they have to have a pet around. Or they have to see their cigarette smoke, like I said yesterday on the video. Or they've got to have music. They got to have a movie. They got to have their iPhone. They got to have They have an imaginary friend. It can be a substance. They have a relationship with something that stands in as a presence. But unfortunately, what happens is, so none of that is good. But what happens is when we're a child, we're shocked. Usually by cruelty. It could be seduction, or it could be both. But let's just say cruelty. And the child is separated from an inner rapport with intuition, with what you know in your heart, with the inner light from God. See, little children are very close to God before they're shocked and separated, and then emotionalized. So once you're shocked, you become emotional. Now, the second thing I want to mention is we should not be emotional. We should not be reacting to things. And the ideal person has faith. Now, none of us have faith, but you can find faith. And none of us has love, but you can find it. Yeah, there are a few in the world. But never mind who those few are, you have to find it yourself, so you can be one of them. You have faith and you have love. See, if you had faith, then you wouldn't doubt. You wouldn't come unglued. You wouldn't be upset. You wouldn't worry. You would just watch. You would watch. And if you had love, and where does love come from? It comes from God. And how do you get love from God? You're in a rapport with Him, Christ said, I don't do anything of myself. I can do nothing. It's the Father within me who does the works. Christ had a relationship with the Father. Remember the beautiful verses in the Gospel of John? And He said, the Father and I am in the Father and the Father in me, and then I in you. Oh, they're so beautiful. You have to find it. It's John chapter 14 or 17 or something. I don't know, something around there. You find it. It's beautiful. That's the relationship you must have with God. But anyway, when you're close to your intuition, to what you know in your heart, to the inner light, then you're very close. But when you're separated from that, then you're separated from love. In other words, love comes from Him to you. We are separated from it. So now you're separated from love, so now you're empty. So now you look for love. See, humans also need love. So you need a presence and you need love. And who will you look to for love from? From the very ones that shocked you, that separated you. See? So we should not be reacting. If we had faith, look at Christ. Look at all that He went through. Look at the cruelty that he experienced. Like I said yesterday, people misunderstood Him and twisted His words. The apostles even were clueless until the Holy Spirit came and until Christ opened their eyes. And they were clueless. He said things to them, they didn't get it. See? Well, He didn't hate them. See? He saw that they didn't get it. But then later, He helped them to get it. Do you understand? See, that's how you must be with other people. Don't hate them. And realize that they're under another influence. Now, here's the thing. From a rapport, from a bonding, from a relationship to something, then something comes through that into you. What do other people want from you? They don't even realize. See, people are unconscious. See, that's the other thing. What do you have when you're close to your intuition? You have enlightened reason. You have understanding. You have discernment. Right? But what do you have when you fall away from it? You lose that. Suddenly you don't have reason anymore. You don't have understanding anymore. You don't have discernment anymore. And then emotions rise. Emotions rise to take the place, and then rationale. And excuses and everything else that comes from the outside. So now you must see that it's this shock, and it's reacting, that separates you from your parent's spirit and from that rapport. And then another rapport is established. See, Christ said no man can serve two masters, didn't He? So it's either one or the other. So if you're not close to God, then you're going to be close to something else. And whatever you're close to, it overshadows you. And it influences you. and it controls you and it manipulates you, and you don't even realize it because you have lost the capacity to realize. Do you see? You only can realize when you're in the light, when you're close to that light. So you must learn the secret of not reacting. It's very important. You have to learn to be watchful. So the Desert Fathers, the Philokalia, which is a very nice spiritual work from the Orthodox Church, the Philokalia. Yeah, I think it's online. Many parts of it are online. You can read for free, or you maybe get it from your library. I think there's 3 books. But the Desert Fathers talk about watchfulness, about vigilance, and about watchfulness. That's what you do. You watch instead of getting absorbed in. See? So now do you understand the problem with things is that they get to you. They want to get your attention. They get your attention, and then they shock you. See? So the weirder they are, that's right, the weirder they are, the crueler they are, the more they grab your attention. But once your attention has been grabbed, and you have fallen into that lower state, and there you're shocked, and you're emotionalized, and you're penetrated, and usually you do wrong things. If nothing else, you get angry, or you hate. See, that's what happens. That's what we do. We hate. We realize at some level, even when we're little tiny children, that someone is being cruel and they're trying to get to you. You realize that, and then what do? You hate them. But see, hate is a forbidden act. That separates you even more. So once you've hated, you've been, and then done some wrong things, you got angry, or whatever you did under the influence of the other, see? You stole something, whatever you did, then you eventually don't want to come back to awareness, because if you come back to awareness, you come back to awareness of what you did. You have to see the truth about what happened to you, what was done to you, and what you did, and so on and so forth. So you don't want to see it. So then you actually look for things to grab your attention, whether it's an iPhone or a movie, or whether it's music or something bizarre or some entertainment. You want something to distract you and carry you away. So the meditation that I have is a nice way of practicing coming back to awareness. And then you need to hang on to it. Then you go out into the world. Then you see what people see. They can't help themselves. They can't help themselves. They don't know what's controlling them. They don't know what they're doing. They're lost sheep. So don't hate them. Remember, see, that's a reaction. That's probably the worst reaction. So don't hate them. Just see. And yeah, some remnants of anger will rise. You'll see anger rising to the surface from all of the things of the past. Just watch it. Don't react to your anger. In other words, don't get angry at your anger. Don't resent your anger. Don't resent your resentment. You see what I mean? So that way, there's just one emotion, and you don't add a second. Just watch it. Let it pass. When you see other people's errors, just see them, but overlook them in the sense of not hating, not resenting, not judging. Just see them. Just watch. And become like when you were a little child again. Just go about your life. Just do things. Enjoy nature. Enjoy whatever you do, your innocent recreations, your work. Be a mom, be a dad, be a student, whatever. And just watch other people without hating them. But don't be fascinated by them. See, there's a difference between just noting, all right, there's a person and he's doing something weird or wrong. You see it. Or being fascinated by it. See? You don't want to be fascinated by it. Don't let it hold you. Always snap out. Don't let things hold your attention. Snap out. See, and you have to learn not to fall into things. You don't want to fall into excessive thought or fall into your food and get lost in your food. You don't want to be lost in anything anymore. You snap out. Now, that would be difficult if you didn't have the help from God, and He helps you, and that's what the meditation's for. Once you come back to Him, then you'll have awareness and you have the inner light, and it awakens you when you fall into excessive thought. All of a sudden you notice it and you snap out. Something is holding your attention, you notice it and you snap out. And it's that simple. That'll be your life, snapping out. But then, of course, from this inner ground will then come realizations and insights and understanding and all of that. So, get the little meditation. Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention is that I told you in a previous video talk that you should get the meditation. You should have it. You should have it downloaded ideally on a CD or on a flash drive or both. And you should also have a transcript of it. So if you don't have electricity, then you can read it. And there is one at the end of my book, Contemporary Contemplation. There's one there, but you can also get one from me. Send me an email. Send it to Roland@SheddingShackles.com. Roland, ROLAND, @SheddingShackles.com. Send me an email and say, I'd like to have the transcript of the meditation. I'll send it to you. Okay? So remember, live streaming. My program is live streaming 24 hours a day on the phone. And you want to get the meditation, get a transcript of it, and like that.